This video is for our grade 12 CAT students, and in your exam, the last question of your practical paper tends to be a question that involves all the packages, some sort of integrated questions that allows the packages to interact with each other. So here are my 5 integrated tips where I looked at a lot of old papers to find out what are the common questions they ask in that final section. So let's look at what they could ask you. And the most common thing that I find is asked in the last question tends to be the mail merge. Now with the mail merge, we tend to use Word that integrates with Excel. And the key thing is when you are in your Word document, you must go to Mailings, and there you'll have all the steps that you are required to follow for your mail merge. And you basically move from the left to the right. You start at the start mail merge option and move all your way across all these options until you get to the finish and merge. So let's look at a quick example. So here I've got a letter that I want to create a mail merge with. And I've got this spreadsheet called details, which has all the details of our students that we want to send this letter to, including their surname, the name, the grade, the class, which is over there, as well as the amount owing, which is over there. So I want to create letters for all these students in one go. So the first thing is we're going to come here to mailings, and we're going to follow from this step all the way going across. So the first step is to select what we're doing. We are doing a letter for our mail merge, so we'll select letters. We then will select the recipients. Here's where you select where you are getting your data that you're going to incorporate into the mail merge. You can either type a new list or you can use the one that you've already got, which we do as well. So there's my details spreadsheet, which I'll click open, and can select the correct worksheet, which is our data one, which I'll click on data, click OK. Once we've connected our data source, which has our recipients, we can then edit our recipient list by selecting which ones we want to send them to. We can sort it to change the order of the letters, or we can do a filter where we can select a particular field. For example, if we only want to send to the green team, then we can come here and select team, and it must equal to the text green. And you can add other criteria using ands or ors and click OK. So here you can see I only have the green team over here, and click OK. Then we're going to move across here to the insert merge field. Now all of our headings over here will now be under the merge field options where we can insert them. So for example, over here by name, I'll change name to be the name field. Make sure that you've got a nice space between your name and your surname. Select the surname, and we're going to insert the surname. I'll do the grade and class quickly, and then the amount owing. When you click on a merge field, you should see it change to gray. You can't just type it in the way you want it to be. It must be inserted using the insert merge field options. If you have a situation where you're going to have 2 letters on one page, so you want record 1 over here, then record 2 over here, for example, then you might use the rules and say next record over here, so that when it moves to this part on the page, it'll move to the next record's details. But I'm happy with this. It's always a good idea to preview results to see what it looks like. There we can see our name, our class, and our amount owing is correct. So I'll unselect preview results and then come here to finish and merge and edit individual documents. And we want all the records. Sometimes you might want the first 3 records. So from 1 to 3, for example. You can click OK. And you'll notice a brand new document has been created. Over here you can see there are 5 pages. There is the first person, scroll down, the second person, the third, and so on. So you always save the newly created merged document. Make sure that you save it in your exam folder. They will tell you what name to use, but again, make sure that you save this in the same folder as your exam files. And then when you close that, make sure that you save the original letter as well by just clicking on save. And that's how you do your mail merge. To recap, go to mailings, you start your mail merge, selecting letters or whatever option you want. Select the file that has the recipient data in. You might want to edit that data using filters. You then insert the fields that you want in your document. Just check that everything's okay with the preview, and then finish and merge everything at the end. And make sure that you save that merged document in your exam folder. Integrated tip number 2 is going to be the subtotal feature. It gets asked quite a lot in the last question, and it's a great way to get summary information about your data. Before you use the subtotal feature, it's always a good idea to first sort the data according to the grouping that you want the data to be summarized by. and then you can go to data, and all the way across to the other side you'll see there is the subtotal feature option. So let's go try an example quickly. So here I've got some data, and I want to find, for example, the average amount owing for each of the different teams. So as I said, because we want it grouped according to the teams, it's a good idea to first sort the data. So we'll select all the data, come here to sort and custom sort, and we want to sort by team. So I'll sort by team. So there we can see all the blue teams together, all the green team, all the red team, and all the yellow team. Once we've done that, we can then select the data, come to data, and all the way across to subtotal. So then we're going to specify what do we want to group it by. We don't want to group it by code, we want to group it by team. So I will select team, and we want to find the average amount owing. So I will select the average function, and it'll be on the amount owing. Normally when we use number options, it'll select the number field, and that's the only real number field. It might have used grade, but it says number is the only one that we can really do. If there are other number fields, we could select multiple fields as well. I will click OK, and it will create this layout where we can see the blue average over there. We can see the green average over there, the red average, and the yellow average, and then the grand total. We do have different levels here. For example, level 1 will just be the overall average. If I go to level 2, it'll just show me the averages by themselves. But if I want the data and the averages, then I'll go to level 3. And we can also click on these symbols over here. For example, if I click on that, it'll take away all the blue data and just show me the blue average. Same for green, for example, and so on. And we can play around with these if we need to. And that is the subtotal feature. Integrated tip number 3 is going to be when we use tables in a spreadsheet. That's to help us do similar things that we would want to do in, for example, a database where we want to filter information. The key bit of information is to select your data, and then you go to the insert option at the top and then select table. Make sure that you only select the data that you want to include in your table when you do this. So for example, I've got this data over here. I'm going to select all of the data and then come to insert and then table. And we want, that's our range, and our table does have headers. In other words, the first row does contain the headings for each column. So I'll click OK. And by doing that, what it allows me to do is to be able to do filters. For example, I can do a sort on the surname, and it will adjust all the data accordingly. I can filter, for example, and select only the grade 10s and the 12s, for example. And if you want to undo a filter, you can just go and clear the filter. Maybe I want all those in the green team that owe more than 100 Rand. Then if I come here and select just the green option, there you can see I just have the green option, and then I'll come over here while it is still only the green option and select, for example, for this, a number filter that it must be greater than equal to 100, and click OK. And there we go. You can see only those that are 100 or more that are being owed in the green team. And then you can undo those filters by just clearing the filters if you need be. You can even use text options, for example, if you want to filter it where it contains or does not contain or begins with or ends with as well. So that's how you do a filter. You can even select, for example, a particular row and come here to sum and say, for example, we want the average amount owing. And there you can see it over there, and we can change that to a different function if we want to find the max, for example, or the min, for example. Let's go back to average. And if we do a filter, let's try a filter on it again. If we wanted just the grade 12s, you see how the average now adjusts to the new data. And then integrated tip number 4 is when we want to import or export data. That means we want to either bring data from another source into our document or file, or we want to send data out to another document or file. So let's start off with import. That means to bring in to your current program. So for example, if you have access, you want to go to external data and import from another source. Maybe you've got data in a spreadsheet and you want to incorporate it into your database. You can then import it. Or maybe you've got another database which has the data that you want to bring into your current database. These are all examples of importing data into your file that you are working on. When it comes to export, that could be, for example, you are working in a file like a Word document and you want to export it to another file or format, for example, to maybe be used in a PDF document or a rich text format. This is also called save in as, but you can use that in other packages. For example, in databases, you could export your data to a spreadsheet. So here I have a database. I'm going to come here to external data and we want to import from another source. I'm going to go get that data from the Excel spreadsheet. So we'll get it from a file from Excel. There are lots of options here from, for example, another database or from online services. We're going to stick to our Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to go and browse for the data. We're going to import it into a new table, but you could link it to a current table. And if it's linked, that means if you make changes to the original data, it'll make changes to this one as well. So let's browse for our spreadsheet. So there's my spreadsheet. I'm going to click on it, go open, and go OK. Now I want to use the data from the data's worksheet. I'll go next. My first row contains headings. Yes, it does. I'm happy with that. Go next. And now I can go through each and individual column and give it its field details. For example, this could be, for example, an integer. Name would be short text, surname. Oh, we'll keep that as currency. We're happy with that. Go next. We can specify the primary key. We're happy with code being the primary key. So I'll choose code to be the primary key. You can select another field if you so wish. Go next and then give it a name. I'm going to call this TBL data and go finish and close. And now we have a table that contains all of our details from that spreadsheet. I can now export this. For example, let's pretend I did not have this in Excel. I can then go and export this to Excel or to a Word document or to another spreadsheet or to a PDF. So if we go export it, it says where do you want to export it to? There's our folder. We can specify what format we want it to be. We can specify with formatting and layout. I'll keep it as it is. Go OK, close. And now I have a new spreadsheet, if I open it, that contains all the data from that database table. Let's refer back to our merge letters where we can come here to File and Export, where you can export it to create it as a PDF or change the file type, which will be the same as saving as. Click on Change File Type. You can see the different file types that are available to you. So let's save it as another type and click Save As. And we're going to save it as, for example, a PDF document and click Save. And now I have a PDF version of my merged letters. And then integrated tip number 5 is when it comes to linking data across different file types. This often happens when you, for example, have a chart that you want to link, and especially if you want to keep that link active. In other words, if you make changes to one file, it'll be updated in the other file. So that often happens when you copy, for example, a chart, and then when you go here to paste, you're actually going to go to Paste Special, where it gives you a whole bunch of options about linking it and if it must be pasted as a link, if you want to display it as an icon or something like those lines. Here I created a chart with the summary of the data from that spreadsheet. I'm going to right click on my chart and copy it. And now when I go to a Word document and I want to paste it, I can paste it special and I can paste it as an Excel chart. It'll use it as a chart and we will have it there and we can double click on it and have chart options in Word where we can modify the information if we want, but I'll undo that. Let's paste it special as a link. If I click on link and we're going to make it as an Excel chart object, we can display it as an icon, which means it'll look like that. When it's put into our spreadsheet, it'll be as a particular file. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to keep it as just a chart object, but because of the link, when I click OK, there we can see our chart. But if I come here and, for example, let's change the information. Let's pretend that this blue group is going to get 1,000 ON from that person. You'll notice a significant change in the blue part of our chart. Now, when I come to my diagram over here, you'll see that that change has been reflected. If you don't see a change, you can always just right click on your chart and update the link to be able to see the latest information. And if you want to go edit this data particularly, you can come here to the linked object and go edit the link or open the link to be able to go edit those details. And that's how you do a link. Just some general advice in the exam guidelines for this last question. You'll notice that it's approximately 15 marks, and they say they're going to ask things about integration and application of techniques. That's what we've covered, as well as knowledge and procedural skills that could include all the applications studied. So they could ask you some question in Excel, for example, where they give you a problem that you need to solve, and it's a way of using all the skills that you've used by combining multiple things that you've learned in your CAT career. So let's just recap our integrated tips. Number one, make sure that you know your mail merge. Make sure that you know how to go through those steps under mailings. Then the subtotal feature under data, make sure that you first sort your data and then apply the subtotal feature. And then with tables, select your data, then use all those filtering options available to you. Don't forget about import and export if you want to bring in data from another source or send your data to be used in a different file. And then last but not least, the linking aspect, when you want to paste special, and then make sure that you keep that link so that if something happens to the original data, it updates in the new file. So I hope those tips are going to be useful for you for that last question. I know when it comes to the last question, you might be running out of time. So if you know how to do these particular different aspects well, then when you are running out of time, you'll be able to maximize your marks for that question. So good luck for exams, and I hope you do well in your last question of your exam. If you struggle with any of the content in this video, then make sure that you go to the YouTube channel at Mr. Long IT and Cat. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss a video, but go look on that channel for any video that can help you with that. And remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.